Hello everybody, this is Fernando, and I thought I would create yet another entry into my popular Cryptids and Monsters YouTube channel videos. This time I wanted to talk about a cryptid that actually is pretty cool in the concept. Again, it's unknown if this cryptid is particularly real or not, but based on the amount of stories tied to it, one can try to hope that yes, maybe this thing is real. And the name of the cryptid is Burrunjor, otherwise known as the last living T-Rex. Now think about that for a second. Imagine if we had actually a living dinosaur that was still out there in this world, roaming the countries, somewhere out there, and in this case it happened to be the most famous, or a resemblance of the famous T-Rex itself. How cool would that be? So the story of this cryptid goes that Burrunjor is associated with Australia, and it has apparently been a dinosaur that has survived the extinction of the other dinosaurs, and of course through generation after generation, living in the wild, the very, very vast wild of Australia, has survived to this day. If one doesn't know much about Australia, so much of it is just vast, 100% outland, western type land, pure desert, uninhabitable except for the strongest of animals, those that are completely adapted to this type of environment, with just a few portions of Australia being associated with cities, municipalities, the usual tourism spots, and other kind of things. So if you have the idea of a T-Rex like monster living out there after so many millions and millions of years, in a way it can make sense, because here you have so much of this region that is uninhabitable, has not had probably any humans in so many years, if any ever crossed this land, and just every now and then you would have this cryptid spotted by accident. Again, it kind of makes sense. So the story goes, or the stories associated with this cryptid, Burrunjor, go that various people have seen a large bipedal animal off in the distance, essentially grabbing kangaroos, cows, other type of large animals, and leaving behind very large bipedal footprints. And for example, in the 1950s, there were some Australian cattle ranchers who reported to have seen a large creature, a very large creature, leaving bipedal tracks as it was eating their livestock. So, straight out of a scene of Jurassic Park, imagine in the far background you see something the size of a T-Rex that looks like a T-Rex. It's not exactly a T-Rex, but it definitely looks like it. Chasing after a stock of some cows, a stock of some other type of livestock out there, and it grabs one and eats it and takes it away, and you see that off in the distance. How cool would that be to see a real living dinosaur like that? Others have reported that these tracks that are found, the difference between these and other tracks are that yes, obviously people find dinosaur tracks all the time, but these tracks are actually new. These are not petrified tracks. These are not fossilized tracks. These are tracks that are new and recent. Others have reported that they have seen it devour cows off in the distance, and others have reported hearing a thunderous roar off in the distance from this creature. So again, Burrunjor, the last living T-Rex, is out there, according to these people, in Australia right now, in the desert fields, in the western outback type fields, and it is alive and running around and being the predator that it is. The tracks that were found by this creature are said to be about 2 feet wide and 2.5 feet long, which is very cool stuff. People have even reported seeing the usual 2 short little arms that T-Rex have had in the past. So again, this creature, while it may not be a T-Rex, it certainly is a derivation of the T-Rex as well. And with regards to the creature, there haven't been any official photographs, unfortunately, because who would want to approach, of course, something like this? You could see this off in the distance, and you can hopefully try to take pictures of it. But no doubt, nobody has dared try to get even closer than this, because to do so would be to risk your own life on there. But very, very cool stuff. Here you see a good picture, which is a comparison of the creature to the size of a normal human. Again, it goes back to the idea of, would you want to get that close to something like this and have yourself a real-life Jurassic Park adventure from the first movie where the T-Rex is chasing after you? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know anybody else that would. But it's pretty cool. I'm surprised that this particular cryptid isn't a tourism haven for fans of dinosaurs and other types of creatures out there. Obviously, Australia has a huge number of locations that are for tourists, but I'm surprised that this thing has not actually had its own source of tourism, like, say, the famous Loch Ness Monster. I found this actually by accident when I was looking at some of the latest cryptid news that are out there, but otherwise, here it is, everybody. What do you think? Is this thing out there? Is Burrunjor living out in the Australian outback? Is it out there roaming, being the predator that it is? And hopefully we'll get one day some kind of picture, some kind of photographic, or even better, video evidence. Or if anyone knows anything as far as sound that has been recorded of Burrunjor, feel free to post anything below here for everyone else to look upon and decide as well. So, as always, thanks again, everybody. Take care.